Your future chartered accountants. I hope you all are doing great and you all have revised whatever has been done till now. I hope so, isn't it? Chapter 8 and chapter 9 we have covered, and today we are going to start a very fresh chapter, that is chapter 10, that states about your bank audit. Okay, so it is regarding audit of banks. I know it is a little new concept for all of you. So please be patient and try to understand concept by concept. Okay, I will be explaining you things. See, you all are aware of what banking norms are. Okay, but this particular topic is about how will you audit, how as an auditor will you conduct the audit of bank, what are the things you have to see, what are the acts involved, what are the documents that you need to check, what are the reports that you as an auditor have to issue to the central government. So all these things, what kind of banks are involved, so it is little new to you. Okay, so but try to understand it. Okay, so you all must have heard of some kind of bank scam or bank robbery, or you must have seen some movies, maybe Bollywood or Hollywood, just starting with a bank heist or a bank robbery, isn't it? So they say that like any other economic activity, even your banking activity is exposed to risk. And you know how important is bank in today's scenario. When I say bank, you say, ma'am, what banks? Today we all have banks on our mobile. But it will not be functional unless and until there is a bank operating behind it, isn't it? All whatever you use your Paytm for or UPI for, so there is a bank behind it through which you transfer your money or receive funds. So a bank is there. Banking sector is the backbone of the economy, isn't it? Without this banking sector, it will not be able to achieve the socio-economic growth, or if you can say financial stability in the economy. Why? Because these banks, they act as supporters to businesses. They act as uh, you know surveyors for the people who want to save their money in the bank. You have so many facilities. You must have heard people saying, don't spend this amount here, rather than put it in your bank account, isn't it? So this banking sector is very, very important for all of us. And if something is so important, then we should be aware of the risk involved in the activities of the banking sector. Okay, can any one of you just mention to me what kind of risk are involved in case of banks? You understand what risk are? You all have done audit risk, inherent risk, control risk. You all know that, huh? Do you all remember? Do you all remember? What kind of risk do you know the meaning of risk, isn't it? Mishappening. You know, the probability of mishappening. So what could be a probability of mishappening in case of a bank? What can go wrong in case of a bank? Come on, give me some idea. Because you should be knowing why are we even studying this chapter, ma'am. Bank is a separate entity. We are an auditor. We have to see to the financial statements of our clients, big companies. Why this bank? Because bank is also a company, you know. So, can any one of you tell me, write to me in the chat box, what do you think are the probable risk? Internal control risk, okay. Loan will not be recovered, very good. Cash transaction fraud, wrong value of cash loans, okay, okay. So, little idea you all have, that's good. Okay. So, yes, these are the kind of risk that is involved, that maybe the bank has disbursed loan to some person. Okay. The amount of security that they have taken is not sufficient to guarantee that loan. Okay. Or even if it is sufficient, but the lender has defaulted in repayment of loan. In accounts, you will be studying about your NPA norms, your IRAC norms, isn't it? So we will be doing that in the later part of the chapter. But as of now, just try to understand what is the basic revenue of bank. This did what is the basic function of bank? Okay, what is the basic function of bank according to you? Come on, tell me. What does a bank do? Come on, write to me in the chat box. What does a bank do according to you? Bank employee collaboration. Okay, these are the risks. Yes, Harsh Joshi, you're right. Collusion, lending loans. Okay, money circulation, collect money and lend. Okay. Yes, so basic function of bank is to accept deposits and grant loans, isn't it? Whatever money you want to save and deposit in your saving account, it is ready to accept that. Plus, they are ready to grant you loans for whatever need you have. So, you know how the bank audit is determined that which bank should be under the purview of audit? We see the amount of advances they have made. Okay, I will show you the balance sheet of a bank. Okay, so that balance sheet, there is deposits and there are advances. Advances. Okay, tell me, what will advances be, the assets or liabilities of the bank? Tell me what the advances will be, the assets or liabilities of the bank? Gayatri, Archal is saying liability. Archal, how come liability? Liabilities of the person who has taken it, isn't it? So it is shown in the under the asset side of the bank, isn't it? The bank will recover it. Okay, all right. So the basic function is accepting deposit and granting advances or loans, you can say. So as an auditor, you have to see that whether these loans are recoverable or not, whether there is some person who has defaulted to such an extent that it will become a non-performing asset. What is non-performing asset? We will study in the later chapter. Okay, but as of now, just understand that there is a concept called NPA, non-performing asset. Basically, we say that the bank has stopped recovering money from a person from to whom the loan was disbursed. Okay, and now that asset has become non-performing, means it doesn't show any sign of recovering money from the same lender. So there is a procedure. How do we deal with it? Okay, how do we classify? So all this is there, but as of now, just try to focus on what we are dealing with. What are the risks of bank? Then again, some kind of fraud happening in the bank. Some kind of, you see the news, ATM being robbed, robbery at the bank. You know, earlier movies used to watch starting with a bank robbery, people coming with the mask and just taking money from the bank. So all this you are accustomed with. So these are the frauds that can happen. What will happen? People's money deposited in the bank and some robbers running away with their cash. So it is a risk. So we need to say that whether internal controls are operating in the bank properly or not. Are there proper security in the bank? Just imagine a big bank without a security guard standing outside. Anybody can get inside and rob the bank. Any unauthorized person can just enter the bank like this. So you have to see whether the cameras are there. Okay, so whether proper security is there or not. So all these things are part of the control. And as an auditor, you have to see whether in a bank are the control being exercised, are the financial statements of the bank being properly disclosing all the, are they true and fair in all respect. So basically, you are also checking the balance sheet and the PL of the bank, that you are checking, the financial statements you are checking, and apart from that you are also checking the internal controls. Okay, and one again important thing, internal controls for financial reporting of the bank. How is the bank actually reporting its finances? Is it properly controlled? Are the authorized person functioning properly or not, or somebody else is having the authority and the other person is sanctioning the vouchers. So all these things have to be seen properly. Okay, are the depreciation being provided properly or not? Are the expenses being made or not? The provisioning done or not? So all these things as an auditor you have to check in the bank. Okay, so the basic, and I tell you practically what happen is, whatever the kind of theft involved here is actually that you see something the bank has parked under other assets, other liabilities. So as an auditor you have to really keep an alert eye on what the other assets, the sundry assets or the sundry liabilities or the other liabilities of the bank are, because whatever they can't find way to, they just park under that heading. Park under that heading means they put under that heading. Okay, so practically as an auditor we see that. Okay, so whenever we get the balance sheet of the bank, the first thing we see the deposits, the advances. Okay, fine. We see, oh, what are the big advances? How much is the total advance of the bank? Suppose the total advances of the bank is 10 CR or 20 CR, and one particular person has taken 15 CR from the bank. So means the major business of the bank is through that customer. And in bank, what do we call customer? We call constituents. Okay. The customers of the bank, the people who come to the bank, who deposit money or who take loan, we call them constituents of the bank. What do we call them? Like in the business, you have customers. For professionals, you have clients. For bankers, you have constituents. Okay, so those are constituents of the bank. How many of you knew this terminology from before? Did you know this? Okay, you didn't, so now you know. Okay, if you don't say customers of the bank, you say constituents of the bank. Okay, Golti Anil, what do you? Right. See, Achal has come up with Nirav Modi fraud. Okay. All right. So you all have heard some kind of scams or other related fraud happening in the bank. Okay. So now you know, as an auditor, what have you to do? You have to go to the bank, you have to talk to the manager, and a lot of things come up with discussion only. A lot can happen over a cup of coffee. So as an auditor, when you go first to the bank, what happens? The manager, he stands up, he welcomes you, he makes you comfortable with a cup of tea, and then over a cup of tea or coffee, you try to know the whereabouts of the functioning of the bank. Okay, like any other businesses, like any other clients of yours, whenever you go to the bank, you just try to be familiar with the manager, asking about things. Okay, how's the functioning of the bank? Then you see few certificates being framed and put on the wall of the cabin of the manager, that you say, oh, you have taken the banks to that height, means you have advanced more, you have granted more loans, the business of the bank has increased. Oh, how come? Then the manager will say, sir, earlier manager used to not collect money from people, he was very poor at disbursing loan, it is me who has done this good business for the bank. So all these things you get to know. Okay, then sir, like, then there is a ATM attached to the bank. You ask, generally these banks are on lease. Okay, generally I'm saying they don't own this property, they, it is on rent, it is leased. So I try to ask how much is the rent, then you check in the balance sheet, is provisioning made, is rent paid, TDS, provisioning of TDS, is it done or not properly? So all these things you just gather the information about. Okay, so this is how you just, are you having some kind of feel how to go in the bank and conduct the audit? Are you able to see yourself in a position of an auditor? Come on, tell me, only then can we proceed with the chapter. Golti Anil, do not rush. Do not rush. Okay. How will the auditor see to the online transaction? Yes. Okay. So now you all are auditors. Okay. Now, first of all, as an auditor, you need to know Ma'am, what are the different kinds of bank that we have? Okay, so basically we have six kinds of bank. What are they? First, the commercial banks. Commercial banks are widely spread banking institutions. You have banks here and there everywhere in India, and they provide a number of products and services. When I say number of products and services, commercial banks provide, what are these products and services? Can anyone tell me? Your facilities of net banking, your facilities of debit card, your facilities of credit card, your facilities of taking loans. So all these are services and products, the cards of the bank that you are using. Okay, so these banks, they provide n number of services to their constituents. Okay, and other segments of the economy. So the two main functions of any commercial bank is accepting deposit and granting loans. Accepting deposits and granting advances, or you can say loans. Okay, so these are the commercial banks that you all know of. Okay, all these banks are commercial banks that you are aware of, and these operate under they are under banking company, which is governed by the Companies Act 2013 only. Okay, then comes the RRBs. What are they? They are regional rural banks, as the name suggests. These banks have been set up in rural areas, okay, in different states of the country to cater to the basic banking and financial needs of the rural committees. So what have you to remember here? These regional rural brands, they have been set up in the rural areas. Okay. For example, your Punjab Grameen Bank, Tripura Grameen Bank, Allahabad UP Grameen. So this word Grameen is attached to this. Regional rural banks, the word Grameen is attached to it. Okay. Then comes your cooperative banks. What are these cooperative banks? We all have done cooperative society and multi-state cooperative societies in the previous chapter, isn't it? So all these banks, they operate under this act. They are registered under Cooperative Societies Act of the respective state, or multi-state cooperative societies if they are operating in multiple states. Okay, and they usually cater to the needs of agricultural and rural sector. What do they cater to? Agriculture and rural sector. So examples are like Gujarat state, they have the word Cooperative Bank Limited attached to them. Chhattisgarh, now you can see in your study material, there is Chhattisgarh Rajya Sehakari Bank Maryadit. Now this Sehakari means cooperative. Okay, it is a Hindi word of cooperative, and Maryadit means limited. So it is again a cooperative limited. So how can you recognize what kind of a bank? Through its name. Okay, all these commercial banks, you see ICICI or your nationalized banks, regional rural banks, they have this word Grameen attached to them. Cooperative banks, they have the word cooperative limited attached to them. Okay, are you able to differentiate between them? Students, come on, reply me. Are you able to? Okay, so now with the name of the bank, will you be able to guess what kind of a bank they are? Commercial, regional, rural, cooperative, huh? So now comes a payment bank. What is this payment bank? As the name suggests, it is meant for payment purposes. They accept deposits. These banks, they accept restricted, some limited amount of deposits, but they cannot issue loans and credit cards to their constituents. Okay, they will not issue loans or credit cards. Credit cards is also a form of loan only. Do you know the difference between debit card and credit card? How do they operate? See, debit card is whatever you have in your bank account, you have a card issued for it. You swipe it, and whatever is there in your account, from there the money will be deducted. Suppose you have 5,000 rupees, you go and shop for rupees 100, so 100 will be debited to your account. Now your balance will be 4,900 in the account. So debit card is taking money from your own account. Credit card, you are taking loan from the bank to use that money for a period of say 1 month, and then you will return back to them. You are not using your own money when you are using the credit card. You're using the bank's money. Are you able to understand? You're using the bank's money. You're asking the bank to lend you money for some time, and then after a period of 45 days, or as the cycle says, you have to return it back to the bank. Okay, so these particular payment banks, they do not grant loan or credit cards. For example, the very good examples for your payment banks are your Paytm payment banks, isn't it? Your Airtel payment banks. Okay, all right. So, and but however, constituents can open current and saving accounts in these banks, in your payment banks, and can avail the facility of ATM cum debit cards. Means only the debit cards, not the credit cards. Why? Because credit card again will symbolize a kind of loan taken from the bank, isn't it? So no credit cards and loans from payment bank, only savings account, debit cards, and you can deposit some restricted amount in them, in those banks. Is it clear to all of you? Come on, write to me. Are these four banks clear to all of you? Mehak Roy is asking, ma'am, is the definition need to be learned? Need not to learn the definition. It is for your own understanding. You should know what are these banks for. For example, the basic function of commercial bank can come in your MCQ. Regional, particular example of a regional rural bank. Okay, where do they operate? Cooperative banks. Okay, or payment bank. A MCQ coming, that can they disburse loan or issue credit cards. So all these things you should be knowing. Is it okay, Mehak? Yes, Archer. So all of you are aware of the debit and credit cards. Isn't it? Okay, Mehak has understood now. Students, please keep asking your doubts. Okay, because this is a new kind of chapter. It has new concepts. Maybe when uh, you are not that mature to go to financial institutions and deal with the bankers and institutions directly. So maybe it is new to you. Some of you might be catering to the banking needs of your family and things, but many of you, I can understand, it's not your age, so you are not accustomed with the functioning of banks and how things are dealt with. So whatever doubt you have, please keep on asking. Okay, I will be happy to answer your questions. Okay, all right. So are these four kinds of bank clear to all of you? Okay, proceeding to the other kind of bank. Now comes the development bank. What are these development banks? As the name suggests, these have been incorporated for infrastructural facilities and are important for economic growth. Means they fund for infrastructures. Like banks, you have IDBI, Industrial Development Bank of India. Then you have IFCI, Industrial Finance Corporation of India. Then you have SIDBI. So all these banks, they fund for the infrastructural facilities of the country. Okay, so these are called development banks. Again, the name development or like industry, all these words will be there in such kind of banks. Okay, and now comes your small finance banks. These banks are not small. The banks are big, but they try to help the small business people. They businesses, the MSME. They are set up by the RBI to make available basic financial and banking facilities to the unserved and unorganized sectors, like small marginal farmers. Okay, those who are underprivileged people who do not know much about banking system and they have a small business. They don't want to open a huge current account for their business. They just want a small savings account. So all these banks, small finance banks, they help small businesses to cater to these needs. Okay, so for example, your AU Finance, Small Finance Bank Limited, these what they do, this bank is also in collaboration with your Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Okay, here the CA firms can also open their account, savings account, and they can have the debit card and the credit card facilities. Okay, so these are small finance bank. What does now again, Mehek, see, These questions can come in a form of MCQ. Small finance bank, they assist or they finance number A, the unorganized sector. Number B, for the they fund the industrial development. Point number C, uh, they issue credit cards. Point number D, they are for lending and accepting loans. So now you have to understand what each bank specializes in or to whom they cater to. What kind of population are they catering to? What needs are they catering to? Development bank catering to the infrastructural needs. Cooperative bank are for the Grameen banks. Okay, then the regional rural, they help the people in the rural areas. Payment banks, they only allow deposit till restricted amount and they do not lend money. Okay, then small finance bank, they are for the basic needs of the unorganized or unserved uh, small marginal farmers and small businesses. So these things need not to be mugged up. They need to be understood and retained in mind. That's it. Is it okay to all of you? Will you remember these 6 kinds of bank, all of you? Okay. Harsh, we will get to that. All the banks have to be registered. Okay? You can't perform banking activities like that. Harsh, we will come to that. Please don't jump. Stay with me. Okay, it is a new chapter. This is why I'm saying stay with me. I'm myself going slow because I want you to understand things and sink it slowly in your mind. Okay, all right. Now coming to the Reserve Bank of India. In your school or when you were a kid, you must have heard Bankers Bank, Lender of Last Resort, RBI. It's a Bankers Bank, bank to the other banks, isn't it? Lender of Last Resort. When bank doesn't have money, it goes to RBI. So RBI is the apex body, isn't it? Okay. Now, what is all RBI responsible for? Okay, let me take you to this. Are you all able to view this screen? These handwritten notes? Okay. So, responsibility of RBI is to see to the development and supervision of the constituents. Here, the constituents whose RBI's constituents, the banks and the NBFCs. See, banks' constituents are you and me, the customers. But RBI's constituents, will we go to RBI and ask money? So who are RBI's constituents? The banks and NBFCs. Are you able to understand? So the responsibility of RBI is see to the development and supervision of the constituents of Indian financial system. And who are the constituents? The banks and the NBFCs. Okay. Then it also determine in consultation with central government the monetary credit policy keeping in need of the hour. Monetary credit policy, one fine day Modi ji coming up and saying, Bhaiyo and Behno, that 2000 rupees is banned now. It is no more legal tender. So it is in collaboration with the central government. Okay, RBI in collaboration, in consultation with the central government. They thought that there's a lot of black money evolving in the economy, so let's put an end to it. Okay, deciding the rate of interest. When they see that the purchasing power of people has increased, they will manipulate, they will change the rate of interest accordingly, and the economy functions that way. So all these decisions of regarding the policies, this RBI take. Okay, it collaborate or in consultation with the central government. Are you understanding this monetary and credit policies? Okay. Then it also helps in regulating activities of the banks. It could be commercial banks or other banks. Can we divide the banks into two, the commercial banks and other banks? Again, you will see some banks and some kind of nationalized banks. Is this clear to all of you? Responsibility of RBI? Anyone, any doubt till now? Okay. Okay, let's proceed. Now, coming to the important functions of RBI. What are the main important functions of RBI? Its function regarding currencies. Two functions: to issue the currency and to regulate the currency issue. Regulate. How is it regulating? Again, what money is to be regulated, what money will not be a legal tender, which will be accepted as a legal tender. So these are the important functions: issuance of currency and regulation of currency. Okay, are you understanding how the money is going to circulate in the economy? Okay, then it acts as a banker to central and state government. Act as a banker to central and state government. It also acts as a banker to commercial and other types of banks. Okay, that will include term lending institutions. Okay, and apart from that, RBI is also entrusted with the responsibility of regulating the activities of commercial banks and other banks. I have written banks, that includes commercial banks and other banks. Let's quickly come to your books. Let's quickly come to your books. Important functions of RBI: issuance of currency and regulation of currency issue. I have made it a one point: currency, issue and regulate, so that you remember. Okay, then acting as a banker to central government and state government, acting as a banker to commercial and other banks, and also regulating the activities of commercial and other banks. Huh? Now, no bank can commence the business of banking or open new branch without obtaining license from RBI. Harsh, here is your answer. Okay? No bank, if you are working as a bank, you have to obtain a license from RBI. Okay? RBI also has the power to inspect any bank, to see the functioning of any bank. Okay, then it says independent audit of financial statements of bank is important for healthy, safe and sound banking system. That is why those RBI, they appoint us as their auditor. Okay, are you understanding? Is it clear to all of you? What is central government policy? Achal, the policy is regarding what? Okay, Daksh says it feels, how proud it feels. Yes, Daksh, you should be proud. You are the future of the nation. Okay, okay, coming to Achal's question, ma'am, what is CG policies? The policy is regarding what rate of interest should be there. Okay, what should be the lending rate? What should be the accepting rate? What money should be floated as a legal tender? So all these are policies. Are you understanding, Achal? Okay, all right. Okay, then coming to, these are some kind of acts which are important for you to understand as an auditor while you are going for an audit of a bank. Banking Regulation Act, State Bank, Companies Act, Banking Companies, Regional Rural Banks Act. So just go through them. No need to mug up and remember. Okay? All right. Then coming to peculiarities involved. What do you mean by peculiarities? Peculiarities are distinctive characteristics or some unusual characteristics of the bank. Huh? What are the characteristics are involved in the bank? Bank deals with huge volume and complexity of transactions. Huge volumes, isn't it? People coming, depositing money. On the other hand, people taking loans. So large voluminous transactions taking place at bank, and complexity of transaction. Just imagine, banks also deals with, some kind of foreign currencies to be exchanged. So complexity. You all know, na? Then what rate should be followed to give the loan, the exchange rate, it will be converted as on the date of taking loan. So all these things, it demands complexity of transaction. So those are called complex. Some are complex transactions. Some kind of loan disbursements also are complex. For example, a constituent want to seek loan of say 5 cr, but his property is worth rupees 3 cr only. Now he's asking the bank, what, how can I seek this loan? So the bank will advise him that okay, this property, this policies of your, this FDR of yours, you can uh, mortgage it with the bank, and then you can have things. So like that. So all these are complex transactions. Okay, so they say large volumes and complexity of the transactions it has to deal with. And you see, nowadays, earlier there were not so many banks. Nowadays you see so many banks coming up, so wide geographical spread of banks network, everywhere you have bank, and if nowhere you have it on your mobile, you have the entire bank in your mobile, isn't it? One click, money gone, one click, received, everything done through mobile, isn't it? Earlier in our times, when we used to deposit fees of our school, we used to go to the bank. There was a bill book issued to us. We used to go to the bank, deposit money, get it signed, get it back, get the counter for slip to the teacher. All these were very cumbersome. And just imagine, one slip is, if lost, trouble started. Now what do? We take a screenshot of things, we keep it. That is another matter, that we don't get the screenshot at the right time because we don't save it at the right place, isn't it? But all these things are happening. There's a large range of product and services offered. Again, I told you, what are the products and services? The credit card, the debit card, the net banking, UPI, RTGS facilities, all these are facilities offered by the bank. Extensive use of technology. Earlier, you had to open the account, you have to go to the bank, fill the form manually, deposit it. Now, the bankers will come to you to open the account at your home. How many of you have experienced? How many of you have experienced that? Just a phone call and the bankers coming to your place and asking you, yes, sir, okay, I will open an account. He is operating the internet banking for you. He's doing everything for you. Not He's giving you the access to it and saying, okay, ma'am, this is ready. So, at your doorstep, you have all the banking facilities now. Opening of account, he's coming to you, taking the face scan, taking the uh, scanners, and then just the face scanning, you decide your number and account number assigned to you. It was once a very cumbersome activity. People used to avoid going to banks, standing in a queue with that rush in the bank. How will things be done? It is all becoming so smooth, and the more smooth it's becoming, the possibility of leakage, fraud, crime, it increase. That is for sure. With an ease, you get possibilities of incorrect information, mal, functioning of things. You have AI in your fingertips, you never know whether it will give you a right answer or not. So with the ease of everything, gone are the days we used to scroll to the books, search for things. Now you have, with a click of button, you have answers to all your questions, but you do not know whether it is authentic or not. Okay, is it fine? All right. Then, and then strict vigilance by the banking regulator, that is the RBI. Okay, so if a question comes to you for 4 to 5 marks, state the peculiarities involved in the functioning of banks. Huge volumes and complexity. Okay, let's come to the notes. Peculiarities involved in the bank audit: huge volumes and complexity of transaction, large range of products and services, extensive use of technology, strict vigilance by banking regulators, and wide range spread of banks network. Is it clear to all of you? Is it clear to all of you, dear students? Can we proceed? Yes, they do everything. KYC also they do. Yes, yes. Okay, so even with the app, we can okay. Okay, so you all are accustomed with what happens not inside the bank, but how is banking functioning in your mobile, that you all are aware of. Good. I'm happy at least you're aware of things. Good. Okay. Now coming to the types of bank audit reports to be issued. Generally, they are saying because we will do that in detail. Okay, as an auditor, the first important report that you have to issue to the bank is firstly the long form audit report that we call the number 2 LFAR. That is a huge detailed form. I will show you a sample of LFAR also. Today I will not show you because it will take a lot of time. I want you to first clear the concepts and then I will show you how the long form audit report looks like. What are the questions? It is a kind of questionnaire, okay? Left hand side the questions are given and right hand side you have to answer, not yes or no, you have to answer in complete. That suppose they are having is cash in the joint custody of the people in the bank, yes. Is the banking functioning properly, are the advances, are the internal controls proper, yes or no, whatever the auditor feels like writing there as per his observation. Are the securities being properly mortgaged, okay? And is the security appropriate? In any case you find leakage of funds, just mention that. Any kind of fraud the auditor come across, you have to mention that. Okay, then some kind of documentation in case of, when the bank issue loan. It also, for example, there are majorly two kind of loans that the bank issue. One is the term loan and one is the working capital loan. Term loan is for a long period. Okay, for example, you have to set up a business and you submit your projections and ask the bank that bank, this will take about 3 to 4 years for me to recover what was invested. Okay, and another is working capital loan. For my day to day functioning of the business, I need to buy stock, so please give me some money. Unless and until I buy stock, what am I going to sell? For example, a trader, okay, he has a business of garments. He is short of the latest garments or apparels in the market. He is short of it. So he says that bank, when unless and until I buy such fashionable and new style clothes, what will I sell and what will people buy from me? They will not buy from me. My business is going for a toss. Bank will say, okay, I'm giving you this loan for your day to day activity. You buy stock, you sell goods, and then you return the money to me. So it's a continuous process. So for that, the bank asks that, okay, you give me your report, your stock statements, your debtor statements, like what are you selling? What is your actual stock? So quarterly, you have to submit your stock statement, your debtors report to the bank. Okay, so there's again a column in LFAR, your long form audit report, okay, that are the documents properly obtained by the bank. Okay, for example, some kind of property papers also, if you're going for a term loan, they ask for property papers. Are the property papers properly stamped? Sale deed properly, conveyance deed properly obtained by the bank? So all these things, all the documentation. So these questions are asked in your LFAR and you answer accordingly. Okay, it's a long form. That is why it is called a long form audit report. So it is an audit report and then it also asks at the end some other observation that would you as an auditor would like to bring to the notice. Okay, that see what happens is there is a branch auditor and there is a central statutory auditor. For any nationalized banks like we talk of, we as an auditor, and there's a class given to the firms. Okay, small firms are given some kind of category 4, then partnership firms given category 3, then big firms with large 15 to 20 partners, they're giving category 2, and again big firms more than 20-30 partners, category 1. So the bank audits are assigned to these CA firms on the basis of their category. Okay, so this category, whatever category the CA firms fall under, usually the sole proprietor firms, they fall under category 4. Then the partnership firms with 2 or 3 partners, they fall under category 3. Category 1 is the highest, category 4 is the lowest category. On the basis of these categories, the CA firms are appointed audit. Okay. Now when they go, there is also a central, they are branch bank auditors. They go and audit a branch of a bank. For example, a bank is State Bank of India. One particular city, suppose Delhi, South Delhi, some specific place in South Delhi also, say Rajouri, they go in for this Rajouri branch. So this particular auditor will audit a particular branch, and then there is a central statutory auditor who is auditing the entire branches of State Bank of India. Are you understanding the story, all of you? The one auditor, one CA firm, he goes and audit one particular branch of a bank. Particular branch means one city, there are so many branches, and one particular branch he is going to audit. The central statutory auditor, he is called the branch auditor. Whereas the central statutory auditor, he will audit the entire branches. He will see to the work of all the auditor who has done the branch audit. The central auditor will audit entire SBI. Okay, example, I'm saying SBI. It could be some other nationalized bank also. Okay, so this is how things work like. Did you understand the story, dear students? Didn't you understand the story? Ma'am, my dream is to conduct audit for RBI. Ma'am, after completing CA, is it possible? Definitely it is possible, Goldie Anil. You will be auditor, you will be central statutory auditor, don't worry. Is there a lag? Is there a lag? Is it fine? Is my voice and everything fine? Okay, all right. Everything fine. Khushi, please check at your end, beta. Everything is fine. Okay. So one form I said is long form audit report. Okay. Another form is a report on internal controls of financial reporting. How is the bank actually working over the internal controls? Okay. How is the controls over financial reporting? Financial reporting is how is the reporting of finances, that is your financial statements, balance sheet, PL. In preparation of that financial statement, are there proper internal controls applied or not? Okay, so number one, report on adequacy and operating effectiveness of internal controls over financial reporting in case of banks which are registered at companies under the Companies Act 2013. Okay. Number three is your long form audit report. Number two. Number three is your report on compliance with SLR. What is SLR? It is statutory liquidity ratio. What is that? Minimum amount of deposit that every commercial bank must maintain in a form of cash, government securities, or gold before lending loans to its constituents. Okay, so this LSR has to be maintained. Okay, so as an auditor, what three things will you see? ICFR, internal control over financial reporting, FAR and SLR. So three documents will you remember? ICFR, internal control over financial reporting. LFAR, long form audit report, and SLR, that is means report on the compliance with SLR, that is liquidity statutory ratio requirements. Okay, so three things you will remember: ICFR, LFAR and SLR. I know these terms are new to you. Please mark them, highlight them and read them again after the class. Okay. All right. After these three documents, there is a report on whether the treasury operations of the bank have been conducted in accordance with the instructions issued by the RBI or not. What is the treasury operations? Treasury operations are nothing but functions of the bank, like managing bank's liquidity. When we call off liquidity, it is which could be easily realizable in cash. Okay. So managing bank's liquidity, funding, and financial risks of the bank. So these are the treasury operations, whether they are conducted as per RBI's guidelines or not. So this you have to report on. And another report is point number E, whether point number E, yes, report on whether the income recognition, asset classification and provisioning have been made. Ma'am, what are these big terms? Okay, they are nothing but IRAC norms. Okay, IRAC norms, where you divide the advances into standard, substandard, doubtful, loss assets, like this when it becomes NPA. Okay, so these are the IROC norms. So as an auditor, you have to see that the bank book interest only on realizable basis, cash basis, and not on accrual basis. Are you understanding? Bank has disbursed loan, it is recovering principal amount plus loan. Okay, so this loan, this interest when it is recovering, that should be booked on realizable basis only when the bank has recovered that interest and not on accrual basis. So this is what, see, every bank, where what is the fight about? The bank wishes to show, the manager of the bank wishes to show that his bank is working very efficient. But you as an auditor cannot blindly trust him. You have to see whether the advances made by the bank, are they being recovered regularly or not. The manager will be afraid of telling you all these things, that sir, my recoveries are not regular. Why? Because then he will think, oh, my bank will get a bad name. My branch will get a bad name. That, oh, this bank, see, this manager is not recovering the loans properly. This business is hopeless. So as an auditor, it is your duty to check whether the bank is functioning in the interest of the people or not. Interest of the people doesn't mean that you are giving loan and not recovering the same. Interest of the bank has also been kept in mind. Are you understanding or not? So this thing you have to see, that the bank is booking interest on realizable basis, not a accrual basis. So all these IRAC norms you will be doing in your accounts, and also we will be doing a little bit of it in this chapter, reader part of the chapter. Okay, so 5 reports we have done till now: ICFR, LFAR, SLR, treasury operation, IRAC provisions. Okay, then on some serious irregularities which was noticed by the auditor in the working of the bank. There's some serious irregularities. What could that irregularity be? It could be that the vouchers or the thing slips coming from bankers are not authorized. You know, somebody is taking, the person, when you go and deposit uh, money in the bank, you get that, you give them the slip, they sign it and return the counterfoil to you. Okay, so that is not done by authorized person, or loans are being sanctioned without proper security against them. So all this is serious irregularities in the working of the bank. So if the auditor comes across that, he has to mention the same, a report on that. A report on the status of the compliance by the bank with regard to implementation of recommendation of Ghosh committee relating to frauds and malpractices, and recommendation of Jilani committee on internal controls and inspection. Ma'am, what is this now? Okay, take a deep breath. There is a report on where you as an auditor have to report on the functioning of the bank with respect to some fraud, malpractices, internal control. Okay, this Ghosh committee report, there were two people, Ghosh and Jilani. Okay, these reports have been coming since ages, and if you read the latest form of the report, you will say, ma'am, it is redundant, it doesn't fall good, because the type of question they ask in the report is, are they maintaining paperless account, are the computer systems installed in the bank, yo, are the bank in a fraud prone area, terror prone area. Terror prone area is where you have, the area is not safe. Okay, so you will say, ma'am, or they will ask questions like regarding the controls, are the board of the bank, name of the bank being displayed outside the bank? Is the GST number displayed by the bank? So all these questions are asked in such kind of report. So as an auditor, you have to answer. So this Ghosh committee questions relate to frauds and malpractices. They're the question, did you as an auditor come across fraud in the banking system? Okay, so you will have to answer yes or no. What was it? Some malpractices happening in the banking system, yes or no, you have to answer. So this Ghosh committee is related to fraud and malpractices. Jilani committee relates to internal control and credit system. Internal control means, are the controls in the banking system proper or not? Okay, is it fine to all of you? So reports, we did ICFR, internal control over financial reporting, LFAR, SLR, treasury operations, IRAC norms, serious irregularities, and then the report on the recommendations of Ghosh committee and Jilani committee. Ghosh committee relates to frauds and malpractices. Jilani committee questions relate to internal controls and inspections. So there is a set format. There is a set format. It's like a questionnaire and or checklist, you can say. So there's a report, and then the question asked, you have to answer yes or no, whether bank complied with such a thing or not, whether bank did not comply with such a thing. Is it clear to all of you, dear students? Are you understanding? Golti Anil, Ghosh committee and Jilani committee do not get, you don't have to get into who was Ghosh and who was Jilani. Just understand that there is a report on this Ghosh committee and Jilani committee. Okay. Are you understanding, Golti Anil? And this is a format of report. The name of the report itself is like this: reporting on the recommendation of Ghosh committee and Jilani committee. Okay. If we get into the story of Ghosh and Jilani, then we will not be able to complete the chapter. And in fact, you don't need to know about who was Ghosh and who was Jilani. Okay. All right. So are the reports clear to all of you? I know the terminologies used in this chapter are little new to you or absolutely new to you. I can understand. Take your time to let them sink in. Okay. All right. Now coming to the next topic, understanding the accounting system. Okay. What accounting system are there in the bank? You have to see that there is a use of technology and its continuous evolution. Use of technology, when we say, there is a computer system installed, and then continuous evolution, core banking system. Core banking stands for what? Core stands for centralized, online, real time electronic system. Core, the full form of core, you all say core banking, core banking. What is core banking? Core banking is centralized, online, real time and electronic. It is centralized, isn't it? You want to transfer funds from your SBI to somebody's PNB, it will be quickly transferred. Online, real time basis. It is not that now you are transferring money from your mobile and the next it reaches that person. No, instantly. Those UPI, those vendors standing below, their business will go for a toss. Immediately the money is transferred. You scan the money, you scan the QR code and the money transfer. Real time, electronically. Isn't it? Electronic system. We say CBS, core banking solution. So this is the entire banking solution. So they say ki it is, you have to see that is there a technology and it is updated with the technology. Anytime, anywhere banking is possible. Okay. All right. Then there is internet and mobile connectivity. All the banks today, they give you some kind of app to operate from wherever you're convenient from, isn't it? So they give you an app, you just open the app, transfer money. Even you wish to open some kind of FDR, you can just click a button and FDR is open. You want to start an SIP, with a click of button, you go in for SIPs. Okay, so all kind of things are there. Then They say wide range of innovative products and services to the customers. Earlier it was just NEFT RTGS. Now debit card, credit card, loan facility, all kind of facilities given to customers. Okay. Then this computerized environment is there. Then the auditors, but one thing you have to keep in mind, when as an auditor you go to the bank and you try to check the things over their system, the manager or the employees of the bank, they will say, sir, it is system generated. What will they say? It is system generated. But as an auditor, you can't go by this assumption that the information is generated by the system. The system will not itself generate the information. It has to be punched in by any employee of the person. Suppose there is an account holder who has come to open the account. The person sitting across the counter will punch something in the computer to make to see that this person's KYC is updated or not, or account is functional or not. Do you agree with it? How many of you have been to bank? How many of you have been to bank? Okay. So you must have seen that when you go to the bank, there is a person still sitting in the bank. It is not that the employees are no more employed in the bank. So he must have punched something. Then only the system is showing that KYC is updated or KYC is not updated. The system itself will not do things for the constituent. There is an employee sitting behind the system generated information, so-called system generated information. It is as simple as that. If on your mobile, your bank transaction is showing as, or your bank balance is showing as rupees 10,000, and next day you see it is showing 8,000. So it is you who must have done a transaction of 2,000. Your system generated report. What is the system for you? Your mobile. So your system generated report who's showing a balance, which is showing a balance of 8,000, is not itself showing a balance of 8,000. You must have punched or must have made a transaction of 2,000 from your Paytm or your GPay or your UPI to make it 8,000, from 10,000 to 8,000. So like that, an employee of the bank must have punched something on the system. So as an auditor, you have to see that are they, the employees, not manipulating the data of the bank? Are you understanding, dear students? Are you understanding? So see this, the auditor should not go by the assumption that the system generated information is correct and can be relied upon without evidence that demonstrate that the system driven information is based on the required parameters. No, he just cannot rely. He should use his professional skepticism, questioning mind. Even if we come across some figure in the system, he must ask the employee, from where are you getting this figure? Just let me know. From where is this figure coming? Okay, so they say he has to use his professional skepticism and prudence wherever he feels that something manually needs to be performed to check the authenticity and consistency of the information obtained from the system and documents the result of such activity performed. Whatever he is doing, he has to maintain a working paper for the same. Are you understanding? Is this clear to all of you? Please let me know, are you understanding this or not? Ma'am, can you please explain the last report H? Okay. Last point H. Acha, okay. Report on instances. Okay, I forgot this. My bad, please. There was another report. This point number H. Please come back to the reports. I did not explain that. Thank you, Harsh. Point number H. Yes. Report on instances of adverse credit deposit in the rural areas. What is adverse credit deposit? Adverse credit deposit ratio. The ratio between credit and deposit means the deposits are more and the loan disbursed is less. Adverse means what? See, usually when do you say it is favorable? When the advances of the bank is more. isn't it? But here they are saying adverse. In rural areas, what happened? They take deposits from people, rural people, the people staying in the rural area. But then they give less loan. They don't support their businesses. They don't give sanction them loan. So it is adverse credit deposit ratio. Okay, right there, loans are less and deposits are more. So it's a adverse credit deposit ratio. Is it now clear to all of you? Thank you, Harsh. Ma'am, could you please explain how will auditor handle employee modification to system generated? Okay, see what happens, Golti Anil, that when an auditor sees to the data, okay, any figure, suppose in PL, he's verifying the amounts of PL. So he's just saying that, okay, from where is this expenses coming? What is the figure that expenses showing here? What does it all include? What expenses does it include? Then the employee of the bank will tell him this expense, that expense. Okay, so the auditor will say, okay, did you do a provisioning of a particular kind of expense? Then he will say no provisioning. So these provisioning for TDS and all these things will be done by the employee. It will not be system generated. Depreciation, will the system itself provide depreciation? No. As an employee, you have to punch in. Usually the depreciation is dealt at the head office level, not the branch level. Means whatever, whichever is the head office of that particular bank, they will put the depreciation. Okay, the rent will be put by the head office. But there are few transactions that you as a branch have to punch there. So can it not be a manipulation or modification by the employee? Goldie, are you understanding? Goldie Anil, please reply. Are you understanding this? Okay. So is it clear to all of you till now whatever we have done? All of you, is it clear? Treasury operations. Actual treasury operations are functions of the bank, like managing bank's liquidity. How will they manage their liquidity? How much SLR has to be maintained? How much funding has to be done? Financial risk, how will they be catered to? So all these are treasury operations of the bank. Ma'am, could you please tell us the key loops in the audit of the bank auditor should focus on? Golti Anil, there are no loops. Okay, and we are not here to find out the loops. All I can tell you is that as an auditor, you have to be very vigilant about the advance sheets that you are getting from the bank manager or the employee of the bank. You have to see whether provisioning of those NPAs have been done properly or not, those non-performing assets. You have to pay special attention to sundry assets and sundry liability, the other assets or the other liabilities. Are you understanding? This is what I can tell you. Practicing and experience won't let us enter into loops. Any chance of collusion, consequence, and bank management, ma'am, showing less creditors and debtors? Yes, there can be collusion. Suppose that the constituent is not repaying the money on time, paying the interest. Okay, so what can a bank manager do? He will ask that, okay, you deposit something at the year end, so that whenever our auditor comes, we can show that yes, you are regular in depositing money. Suppose for the entire 12 months, no money has been repaid by the constituent, and the manager is now at the end of the year, financial year, because you know 1st April or 2nd or 3rd April, the auditor will come. Beginning of April, the auditor will come to audit the bank. 31st March, he asked the constituent to pay something so that he can show that your account is regular. And the constituent pay something. So the auditor should be quick enough and vigilant to study that, oh, the entire 12 months, no money coming. It is only on the last day of March that the person is coming and depositing money. And again, in April, after auditor's visit, or you say if the auditor is coming on 4th or 5th, 2nd or 3rd, he had again withdrawn that money. So it is a collusion. Okay. Okay. So you all have understood. You all are going beyond. Is this clear to you? Okay. All right. Okay. Now, so now coming to bank audit approach. How are you actually going to approach the audit? What are the things that as an auditor will you keep in mind? First of all, you will draw the audit plan. You will draw the audit plan. You will plan your audit accordingly. That how you will divide the work. See, as an auditor, like you get an appointment from the bank that you are, sir, you are appointed as an auditor to the of the bank branch, and kindly give your acceptance. This is what actually happens. I'm telling you the reality. Okay. One fine day during the end of March, around 23rd or 24th of March, because April 3rd or 4th April you have to start with your audit. 3rd or 4th April you have to start with your audit. So 2nd, 3rd March you get a mail from some bank that, sir or ma'am, we wish to appoint you as a statutory auditor of this bank for the financial year so. Okay, kindly give your acceptance. So you will give your acceptance. You will call your articles, your staff to the office and say we have to plan for the bank audit. Okay, then as a principal, if suppose I'm a principal, I will ask one of my articles that, see, Mr. A, you will see to the advances. Mr. B, you will see to the balance sheet. Mr. C, you will accompany me in collecting the documentations for the long form audit report. And staff C, you will help with other internal control matters of the bank. Okay, are you understanding? So this is how I'm planning the thing. So draw an audit plan. Okay. So what, on the basis of what? You will understand the nature and level of operations. Okay, before going to the bank, you will have a little conversation over the phone with the bank manager. So how much is your advances? Okay, how much is your deposits? You know, just a little conversation. Sir, we will be visiting you this day. Please keep us updated with the latest balance sheet and PL in whatever form you want, physical form or the soft copy, whatever it is. So the nature and level of operation, is the bank working in a small domain or is it a big bank? Big bank means large advances. Small is small advances. The business of the bank is small. Okay. Or if it is dealing with agricultural advances also, agricultural loan, is it situated in a rural area or an urban area? Because the function of a bank will depend upon that, the area in which it is operating, isn't it? Is it dealing with foreign currencies also? So all these things you have to know. What is the level of operation of the bank? Nature of adverse features. What could be adverse features? The inherent risk. What are the inherent risk? Who will tell me what are the inherent risk? Who will tell me what are the inherent risk? Which is there before considering the internal controls, which is there in the system by default. Okay, in the business it is there by default before considering the internal controls. So those are the inherent risks. So the adverse features. Okay, then the level of compliance based on previous reports. Level of compliance? Huh? The control risk. What is the control risk? The risk that the bank's internal control will fail to prevent and detect and correct a material misstatement on timely basis. That is a control risk. And just tell me, if compliance of RBI or compliance by the bank is less, the control risk will be more. Are you all understanding this? See how beautifully the chapter is being designed, that you have already covered all kind of risk and then it is coming taking you here. So level, understand the nature and level of operations, then the adverse features, then the level of compliance. Has the banking or the bank complied with the regulations of RBI? Okay, you will see to the previous year's report of the auditor. Okay, was there any adverse comment, adverse observations? Is it clear? Then audit risk. What do you mean by audit risk? The risk that auditor might give a wrong opinion stating that the financial statements are true and fair when they are actually not. So that is the audit risk. So he will also consider the audit risk based on inadequacy or breach of internal controls and the familiarization exercise carried on. It means that there is a breach of internal controls. The controls were not exercised properly and thought the controls are good. Wrong opinion. He is saying, no, the financial statements are true and fair when they are not. Are you able to understand this? Okay. Okay. All right. So you are understanding all these things? Okay. So firstly, we say we will draw the audit plan. And in drawing the audit plan, what as an auditor will we see? We will understand the nature and level of operations. We will see the nature of adverse features. What could be the inherent risk in the system? Then level of compliances. And then the audit risk based on breach of internal controls. Okay. All right. So can we take a break of say 7 to 8 minutes and then come back? Is it fine? Can we take a break of 7 to 8 minutes? Okay. It is 7:17. Okay. We will come back around 7:25. Is it okay? 7:25. Let's keep it 7:25. Okay. All right. Technical team, we are going for a short break. Okay, good. Very good. Okay. So coming to the next order, first we say bank audit approach. The first approach was drawing the audit plan. The first approach was, the first step that you will take is draw the audit plan. Second, the control environment at the bank. What is that? Control environment. Ma'am, what is that, ma'am? I say that we as an auditor, we will try to understand the environment. SA 315, understand the entities and its environment. Okay. So here we will understand the environment. How are we going to understand? We will understand by asking questions. We will understand by asking questions. So they say a bank should have appropriate controls to mitigate risk, to reduce its risk, including effective segregation of duties, particularly between the back office and the front office. Means you must have seen there are few people in the employee in the bank who sit on the face, huh? Across the counter you see them, and some behind means in the back office. Okay, they are working for loans or some activity, some admin function which is not in day to day dealing of the dealing with the constituent. Okay, so they say ki they, you see that there's a segregation of duty, accurate measurement and reporting of positions. What does that mean? Accurate measurement and reporting of positions, verification and approval of transactions. You have to see that if Mr. A is authorized to do some work, it has been authorized by Mr. A. If B is authorized to do a particular work, he should authorize that particular transaction. Okay. So all these things you have to see. So as an auditor, we will try to understand the environment by asking questions. So what questions we as an auditor will ask them? We will ask them very basic. Who, what, when, how, why. Hmm? So first is who. We will ask who. Bank manager or the employee of the bank. We are going to ask who performed the controls. Who has performed these controls? Does that person having requisite knowledge and authority to perform the control? Okay, let's do it from here first. Are you able to see this screen? Okay. The nature of questions are who means performed the control, and the person who performed the control, does he have the requisite knowledge of that thing? Huh? And did he have the authority to perform that control? For example, I said A is authorized to sanction an expense. Or here the control is to exercise a particular control. Okay, he has the authority to approve a transaction. Okay, to approve a transaction. Does he have knowledge of that transaction? For example, he has to sanction a loan. Okay, he's in the loan department of the bank. He has to sanction a loan. Does he have the knowledge of disbursing loan, recovery of loan? Does he have the authority to sanction that? Or if he was absent, B instead of him has sanctioned the loan. Okay, so the first question is who? Who has performed the control? Does that person have requisite knowledge and authority? Second, what? What is the evidence available with you, employee of the bank? Please show it to me to prove, to demonstrate that the control has been performed. Show me the sanction letter. What evidence do you have? Are you understanding, dear students? Are you understanding? Who performed? What? What is the evidence? Show me a proof to let me know that it is a proof that the control has been performed. Show me the sanction letter. Okay. Then next is where. Where is this evidence kept or retained? They say, sir, that sanction letter is kept there. Show it to me. Where is the evidence of performance of the control retained? Where have you kept it? For how long is the evidence retained? He had taken loan 10 years back, but the loan is still not repaid. Is that sanction letter still there? Have you retained that evidence? Is the evidence accessible or available for audit? Can you show it to me? Do I have the access to that letter? Are you understanding these three questions, dear student? Are you able to relate? Who performed the control? Did that person have enough knowledge and authority to do so? What evidence do you have to prove that the control was performed? Where is that evidence retained? For how long is it retained? And is it accessible for my audit? Can I have the access to it? See it? Next, when? Are you understanding? With what frequency did you try to ask for the recovery of that loan, to ask for the interest recovery? Is the frequency enough to prevent detection and correct error risk of material misstatement? Was that control exercised? Was that sanctioning authority, that Mr. A, was he sanctioning all the loan accounts? Was he sanctioning all the loans? Or did he just sanction one and did not sanction the other? What was the frequency of role control performed? Is the frequency enough to prevent, detect and correct the material misstatement? Are you understanding, dear students? Was the frequency enough to prevent, detect and control the material misstatement? This is what as an auditor you have to assure of. Okay. Then why? Why is the control performed? What was the need to exercise that control? Are you understanding? Why was the control being performed? What type of error are prevented or detected through the performance of control? What error is being prevented? There is an error of duplication sanctioning, double sanctioning, because if one person authorized, Mr. B cannot authorize the same. Are you understanding? So why is the control performed? So that there is a single authority who is sanctioning the loan. What error can it prevent? It can prevent double sanctioning of loan or wrong sanctioning of loan or sanctioning of loan. Are you understanding this? And last is, how is the control being performed? How? What do you do? They say, suppose a transaction is performed by Mr. A. Okay, so what is Mr. A authorized to do? Sir, he is allowed to sanction that loan letter. Okay, all right. What are the control activities? How do you say that this control is exercised? They say first A sanction it, then it comes to B, B views the document, then it goes to C, C sanction finally. Are you understanding? Are these activities, can these activities be bypassed? Bypassed means, suppose a transaction is to be approved by both A and B, signed by A and countersigned by B. But here, A is what A is doing. A is creating both the accounts. Means, see, in the bank also you have a login ID password for all the employees. So A through his login ID can sanction. Mr. B through his login ID can verify that the details are proper. He is countersigning it. Okay. One particular day B was absent. Now A thought that, oh, when B will come, I have to go for a vacation. So why not do one thing? Let me log into B's account and countersign it. Counter approve it so that the loan is sanctioned. Are you understanding the story? Mr. A, through his login ID password, he had the access to sanction some loan which should be countersigned by Mr. B. Mr. B was on a holiday. A knew his login ID password. He accessed his login ID password, his system, and then he countersigned that sanction, that loan. So, was it bypassed? Yes, it was compromised. This control was compromised, it was bypassed. So, was it bypassed? If yes, can it be detected? Was there anyone to detect this? That Mr. B was absent, how can his ID be logged in on this day? There is a trail, isn't it? There's a trail. You can see who is the person who has put this entry, who is the person who has punched this entry. Though it was from B's account, B has punched that entry, B has signed it. But now you are seeing that B was absent that day. So who has done it? A has alone done it. So it was bypassing of the control. So was it detected? Yes, it was detected. How are exceptions or deviations resolved on identification? When an auditor or any other employee got to know about this, or the manager got to know about it, how was this resolved or rectified? What is the time frame for resolving such exceptions or deviations? What are deviations? What it should be and what it is. It should be authorized by A and B, and it is authorized by only A. So this is the deviation. Okay. So till what time frame should it be corrected? Are you understanding all these questions? Anyone, any doubt? Like हम friends का भी attendance लगा देते हैं when they are absent. Yes, Achal, that is bypassing. Okay. So are these questions clear to you all? Number one was who? Who performed the control? The person performing the control, did he have requisite knowledge and authority to do so? What was the evidence? The proof that the control was performed. Where is that evidence retained? For how long is it retained? Is the evidence accessible for audit? Then when was that control? How frequent was it exercised? Is that frequency enough to prevent, detect, and correct a material misstatement? Why was that control performed? What type of errors are prevented, detected through that performance of control? How is the control being performed? What are the control activities? Can it be bypassed? If bypassed, can it be detected? If detected, then within what time frame can it be resolved? Okay, who will tell me the six questions? Six questions related to control environment at the bank. Who will tell me the six questions? Come on, write to me in the chat box. See, you will not get a complete set from this. You, from one particular point, you can get an MCQ or a question. Okay, like you can be asked how the controls being performed, how can an auditor verify the same? So then you have to say how the control performed, what are the control activities, can it be bypassed, all these things you have to mention there. Who will answer me the questions? Nobody? Am I audible, dear students? Come on, I want the answer. Okay, you are writing. Okay, right. Let me see. Okay, Kushi. Okay, Mehak. Okay. All right. Have you understood all the questions? Have you understood all the question? Anyone, any doubt? Okay, so all of you are able to reply. Okay, yes, ma'am, clear. Very good. Coming to the third step, engagement team discussion. See, first he planned, then understanding the environment. Okay, then discussing among the engagement team. Now, this question, mark it very, very important. It was asked in RTP November 21, July 21, November 21. Many a time this was put up. Okay, so engagement team discussion. Now, what are they actually discussing in the engagement team? Let's do from here. Engagement team discussions. They will discuss about matters related to errors. Errors identified in prior years and likely to occur in future, past and future. Will you remember that phase? Errors identified in the previous prior years, the auditor went through the previous audit report and he saw that this was the error likely to occur in future. What errors could likely to occur in future? So engagement team will discuss about the errors. Errors identified in prior periods, prior years and likely to occur in future. Then fraud. What could be the method of fraud by the bank personnel or others? Means what error or what fraud can be committed by the bank personnel, the people working in the bank. What fraud can they do? The cashier can run away with the money. Okay, are you understanding? So these are the fraud that can be done by the bank personnel only, manipulating the data of the constituent. Okay, then audit response to engagement risk. What is engagement risk? Engagement risk is the risk that the auditor will suffer some kind of financial loss or damage to their professional reputation, or there could be some kind of adverse publicity in connection with audit of bank statement, that when the auditor does not perform his duty well, he might end up in damaging his own professional reputation. So that is the engagement risk, that while auditing the bank's financial statement, the auditor will suffer some kind of damage to his professional reputation. Okay, get to know this scam happened in the bank. Who was the auditor of the bank? So that is an engagement risk. Are you understanding? You get to know some kind of scam in the bank. You will ask, who was the auditor? Who did the audit? Oh, this firm did the audit. Oh my God, this is the engagement risk. Okay, then they say engagement risk. What else risk? Pervasive risk. What is pervasive? You know, which is spread all over your balance sheet. Not confined to one specific element of account or item of financial statement. It represents the risk that the material misstatement will affect the balance sheet as a whole. Pervasive risk. Okay, please understand these terminologies. Pervasive risk, a risk which is not confined to a specific element or account or item of financial statement. Okay, this particular element, it represents the risk of material misstatement that affect the balance sheet as a whole, not just specific account balance, class of transactions, disclosures. Do you remember this ABCD? Account balance, class of transactions, disclosures. You all have done this. Assertions, isn't it? Okay. And specific risk. What is specific risk? Specific risk is the risk of material misstatement confined to particular class of transactions, account balance, and disclosures. Are you able to recall something from your previous chapters? Okay. So what is auditor's response or audit response to if there is some risk related to engagement risk, pervasive risk, or specific risk? What will their response be? How will they react to such a risk? What will their course of action be? Okay, so all these things they are discussing. Then maintain professional skepticism. Professional skepticism, maintaining a questioning mind, being alert, okay, throughout the audit engagement. There could be a question, when is an auditor expected to exercise professional skepticism? Beginning of the audit, during the audit, end of the audit, throughout the audit. Throughout the audit. Now one can say, ma'am, during the audit is also correct. No, it is throughout the audit, right from the inception till the end. You have to mark the most appropriate answer. This is what the MCQs play is all about, isn't it? So he has to maintain professional skepticism throughout the audit engagement. Then he needs to be alert for information, other conditions that indicate material misstatement. Okay, so this is engagement team discussions. Come on, tell me, what are the components? The error identified in prior years likely to occur in future. Fraud, method of fraud by bank personnel and others. Audit response to engagement risk, pervasive risk, and specific risk. Maintain professional skepticism throughout the audit engagement. And he needs to be alert for information and other conditions that indicate material misstatement. Isn't it? Come to your notes. See, the engagement team will discuss accordingly includes a discussion of the following matters. Error that may may be more likely to occur, that is the future. Error which have identified in the prior years. Method by which the fraud might be perpetrated by the bank personnel, okay, or other within a particular account balance or disclosure, that is class of transaction disclosures. Audit responds to engagement risk, pervasive risk and specific risk. Need to maintain professional skepticisms and need to be alert. Let's do these questions from this short notes. Question C, nature of questions. Who performed? Having knowledge and authority. What evidence available? Where evidence retained? For how long and is it available? Accessible. When? What frequency? Is it enough to prevent, detect and correct the material misstatement? Why is the control being performed? Okay. And how can the control being performed? It is given in very short for you to just jot down. Okay. All right. Then, now after this discussion, they say what are the advantages of such discussion? What are the advantages? Why do we even need to discuss? The engagement team need to discuss these matters. Okay, first of all, tell me, is it clear till now whatever we have done, or are you having any? Yes ma'am, pervasive like adverse and disclaimer of opinion. Skepticism meaning, Mehak, skepticism, professional skepticism mean having a questioning mind, asking questions if you have any doubt. If the auditor come across some material misstatement, or he thinks if he comes across a misstatement and he thinks it could be material, he is having a professional skepticism. He's having a questioning mind to inquire, to ask the client. Mehak, is it clear? Ma'am, what if highly planned fraud still it pulls auditor in risk, ma'am? See, what does the word risk means? There is a probability of happening. What, as an auditor, you cannot guarantee that there is no fraud or there will be no fraud in future. Can you guarantee that? No, you cannot guarantee that. So the risk is a possibility or probability of happening. As an auditor, you are seeing to matters not with the intention that fraud must have happened. No, you are looking into matters, and if you are seeing, oh, this is a real material misstatement, it could be either due to fraud or error. When we say fraud, it is intentionally done by the bank employee. When we say error, maybe they were not having knowledge of this particular provisioning, or they did not know that a provision had to be created for that. Could be an error. Is it clear, Goldie? Risk of independence of auditor included in this? No, there is, what is a, see, independence, there is no risk. Independence means that you are being yourself, you are not being biased, you are reporting as per your observation. Kushi, are you understanding this? The risk is engagement risk. But independence, they can't be risk, because independence is your own state of mind. Are you understanding, Kushi? What do you mean by independent? When we say that the auditor is independent, it means that he is not subordinate to the wishes of the person who has appointed him. He is not being lured by whatever manager is saying. No, he is applying his own professional knowledge, he is applying his own prudence, and he is giving his opinion as per his observation. That is called independence. He is not being biased. Kushi, are you understanding? Okay, all right, good. So what is the advantages of this discussion? They say specific emphasis on financial statement with respect to material misstatement due to fraud. Why? Because the discussion was taking into account some kind of fraud which might have happened. Okay, that enables the team to consider an appropriate response to fraud risk. What is fraud risk? A risk that material misstatement arising from intentional actions or omissions, either fraudulently reported or misappropriation of assets. What is fraud risk? Fraud risk is the risk of material misstatement arising from intentional actions or omissions. Means the bank employees has intentionally omitted that entry. He did not show that entry, or he has removed that entry fraudulently, or he is misappropriating some kind of assets. He is showing that the advances are more, although it is not more. Are you understanding that? So that enables a team to consider an appropriate response to fraud risk, including those related to engagement risk, pervasive risk, and specific risk. Here, the engagement partner will delegate the work to experienced engagement team members and decide audit procedure. Now, you as a principal, you as the head of the engagement team, you will give a work of a work which has a probability of high material misstatement. You will say, this article, he has seen me working for bank audit in the previous year or past year. I will assign this work to him to look into this particular matter. Are you understanding? Experienced engagement team member, one who is having a knowledge of it. Or there could be some staff of in your office that has been continuously accompanying you for the bank audit since past 7 to 8 years, and he has good sound knowledge of bank audit. So I say, sir, you look to this matter. You are experienced. Or he will involve specialists to address fraud issues. There is some specialist person who is having special knowledge on seeing to that fraud issue. So what will they say? They are saying that the engagement partner, number one, this discussion advantage, it gives specific emphasis on the financial statement matter with respect to fraud. Second, it helps in delegating work to experienced engagement team member. Third, they can involve specialists to address fraud issues. Okay, so these are the advantages. Let's do from the book. Advantages: specific emphasis to provide suspectability of the bank's financial statement to material misstatement related to fraud. Then, enable audit team partner to delegate the work and to need to involve specialists to address matters related to frauds. If they think that there are special matters which involve some kind of specialist, for example, you are saying that some valuation has not been done properly, you need an actuarian for the same, you have involved that actuarians. Okay, now coming to form and content of financial statement, they say, like we follow schedule 3, okay, to prepare a balance sheet and accounting standards. What does banking company follow? It has form A of third schedule. Form A of the third schedule to Banking Regulation Act 1949. Repeat with me. Form A of third schedule to Banking Regulation Act 1949, that contains the form and content of balance sheet, and form B contains form of PL account. Repeat with me. Repeat with me. Form A of the third schedule, what what contains form of balance sheet? Form A of third schedule to Banking Regulation Act 1949, and for PL account, form B. Okay, there is no concept involved here. It is a form, you have to remember. Form A of third schedule for balance sheet and form B of the third schedule for PL. Is it clear to all of you? Anyone, any doubt? Yes, we can appoint experts. Anil, we can. Is it clear to all of you? Anyone, any doubt? Please ask. Students, I'm waiting for your reply. Okay, no doubts, clear. All right. So, coming to the next topic, income recognition, that is dealt later on in the chapter. So, we will skip this part and we will directly come to appointment of auditors. Okay, we have for banking company and we have for nationalized banks. When we say banking companies, they are banks which are governed by Companies Act 2013. Okay, like your private banks. For example, your ICICI, your HDFCs. Okay, so the auditor of banking company is to be appointed at the annual general meeting of the shareholders. Like that in the company, like that in the Companies Act, isn't it? Is it fine to all of you? So, auditor of banking company is appointed by shareholders in the annual general meeting. Your banking company, just remember your ICICI or HDFC or private banks. Okay. For your nationalized bank, it is appointed by the bank concerned acting through its board of directors. Board of directors appoint in case of nationalized banks. What are your nationalized banks? Which are your nationalized banks? PNB, State Bank of India, Canara Bank, Central Bank, Indian Bank, all these are nationalized bank. Union Bank, all these are nationalized bank. So just remember that in case of banking company by the shareholders in AGM, in nationalized bank by the board of directors, but in both these cases, since it is a bank, the approval of RBI is important. Why? Because bank is RBI. So approval of RBI is important. But in case of regional rural banks, those small banks, which serves the rural people. So here bank will appoint with the approval of central government. Is it clear to all of you? Bank will appoint with the approval of central government. So come to this. Appointment of auditors. Come to appointment of auditors. The auditor of banking company is to be appointed at the annual general meeting of the shareholders. The auditor of nationalized bank, right there, banking company, for example, ICI. Nationalized bank, for example, your PNB, State Bank, Indian Bank, all these are nationalized bank. Okay. So, auditor of nationalized bank is to be appointed by the bank through its board of directors. Okay, but in both these cases, in case of banking company as well of nationalized bank, the approval of RBI is required before the appointment is made. Okay, so shareholders in annual general meeting plus RBI's approval, board of directors plus the RBI's approval. Okay, and the auditor of regional rural bank are appointed by the bank concerned with the approval of central government. Is it clear to all of you? Anyone, any doubt in appointment of auditors? Anyone, any doubt in the okay, all right. Then, remuneration of the auditor. Now you tell me, in case of banking company, it is same like that in the Companies Act. So section 142 will govern, section 142 of the Companies Act will govern the remuneration criteria. That is the company in general meeting or the company in general meeting as they decide or determine. Okay, so the remuneration of auditor in case of banking companies as per section 142 of the Companies Act, that is just nothing but company in general meeting will decide, or they will decide what, how it is to be paid in the general meeting itself. Okay, in case of nationalized bank, in case of nationalized bank, RBI in consultation with central government. RBI in consultation with central government. In case of nationalized bank and State Bank of India, they have said. Okay, so it is fixed by RBI in consultation with the central government. Is the remuneration part clear to all of you? Let us see from here. The remuneration of auditor of banking company is to be fixed in accordance with the provisions of section 142 of the Companies Act 2013, that is by the company in general meeting or in such manner as the company in general meeting may determine. And the remuneration of auditor of nationalized banks and State Bank of India is to be fixed by the Reserve Bank of India in consultation with the central government. Is this much clear to all of you? Anyone, any doubt, please ask. You are free to ask. Achal is asking what is remuneration. Achal, remuneration is the payment, the fees. Fees to the auditor is called remuneration. Okay, Achal? Achal, is it clear to you? Remuneration is the fees. When you appoint an auditor, he will charge some fees from you. Okay. So who will give that fees? These people who are appointing. Okay. All right. Coming to the powers of auditor. Now you tell me what could be the powers. What right does the auditor have? The auditor of banking company, nationalized bank, state bank or regional rural bank has the same power as those of the company's auditor in the matter of access to books of accounts, documents and voucher. You tell me what are the powers. Tell me what are the powers of auditor. Let me see who can answer me this question. They are saying it is same as the company auditor. What power does a company auditor has with regard to books of account, documents and voucher? Come on, I want the answer in the chat box. Come on. Let me see how many of you remember this. Come on, students, I'm waiting for your answer. Please repeat. Okay. They say power of auditor. And here they have just written they are the same power, the auditor has the same power as those of the company's auditor in the matter of access of books, account, document, voucher. Okay, Khushi, very good to get information and explanation. Very good. Access to books, can access all financial records. Very good, Achal. Very good. Very good. Very good. So the auditor has access to all the books, accounts, and he can ask for information and explanation. Okay, very good. You all know that. Very, very good. Okay, so till now, all clear? Anyone, any doubt? Okay, let's proceed to auditor's report. They say, in case of a nationalized bank like those of your SBI or PNB or Canara, Central or Indian Bank, all these banks are nationalized bank. So they say in case of nationalized bank, the auditor is required to make a report to central government. Very important, can come for your MCQ. He has to make a report to central government in which he has to state. What will he state? That same, in his opinion, the financial statement present a true and fair view of the state of affairs of the bank. And in case he had called for any explanation or information, whether that has been given to him or not, and whether he finds them satisfactory or not. So, three things. In his opinion, the financial statement present true and fair view of the affairs of the bank. Second, he has called for information and explanation when he needed, and whether that information and explanation which has been given to him, whether he is satisfied with it or not. Do you remember these 3 points? Come on. First, in his opinion, the financial statement present true and fair view of the affairs of the bank. Second, in case he had called for information and explanation, he has been provided by that. When provided, was he satisfied with such information and explanation? Is it clear to all of you? Second, whether or not the transactions of the bank which has come to his notice have been made within the powers of that bank. See, I tell you, the banks, according to their own category, they are allotted with few limitations. For example, there is a loan sanctioning branch, the branch which specifically sanction loan. Your branch can sanction loans say up to 20 lakhs. But if a constituent comes to you and asks for a loan for above 20 lakhs, you as a branch have to tell them that please go to our loan sanctioning department or loan sanctioning branch, that is the loan branch, and you can ask them for the higher amount of loan. So now, as an auditor, you have to see that any transaction related to loan, for example, if the limit of that branch to disperse loan was 20 lakhs, means the branch can only advance loan up to rupees 20 lakhs, and if it is more than that, it has to refer to the loan branch. But here, a loan of rupees 30 lakhs was disbursed by the branch. Can I say it was outside the power of the bank, or it has surpassed its power? Can I say that? Come on, tell me. It was outside the power of the bank. Yes. So here you have to see that whether or not the transactions of the bank has been done within the powers of the bank. If it's not, means if it is not a bank deal or it is not a branch dealing in foreign exchange, but it has dealt in foreign exchange. How come? It is beyond its power. So if an auditor comes across such a matter, okay, that whether or not a transaction of a bank which has come to his notice have been made within the powers of the bank, he has to satisfy himself with that. Okay, all right. Next, whether or not the returns received from the offices and branches of the bank have been found adequate for the purpose of his audit. See, there are few returns and reports of the bank. There are n numbers of reports that the bank has to keep with them so as to satisfy the auditor. For example, they have given a loan to MSME, or there is a scheme of government under which they have disbursed loan. So according to that scheme, okay, each branch has different terminologies of using the type of scheme they have from the prime minister or from the central government or state government. Okay, so there are few schemes by the central government or state government that they give to these people to allow them to have loans. So whether these reports are found to be adequate for the purpose of audit or not, means whether these reports are complete, appropriate and sufficient for his purpose of audit. Has he received all kinds of certificates from the bank according to which he has to prepare his audit report? So that he has to see. Next, any other matter which he considers should be brought to the notice of the central government. So four things. What four things? In his opinion, the financial statement present true and fair view of this affairs of the bank. Whatever information explanation he has asked for, he has been provided with that. Was he satisfied with that? Number one. Okay. Number two, whether the transactions of the bank which has come to his notice have been made within the powers of the bank. Number three, the returns have been found adequate or not for his purpose of audit. Number four, any other matter which he considers should be brought to the notice of central government. Say the report of auditor of State Bank of India is also to be made to the central government and is almost identical to the auditor's report in case of nationalized bank. Okay? All right. So now I want to ask you, any one of you having any doubt in whatever we have done till now? Not yet. Anyone else, any doubt? No. Can I put up questions to you all? Can I put up questions to you all? If you all do not have any doubt, can I post questions? Huh? Okay. Are you all ready? Are you all ready? Okay. One of the important functions of RBI regarding currency are dash and dash. Important function of RBI regarding currency. Very good, Daksh. Instant answer. Function of RBI regarding currency is dash and dash. Nisha, one you have answered. Very good, Tanmay. Very good, Mehak. Very good, Isha. Very good, Gayatri. Golti Anil, wrong answer. Regarding currency, I've asked. Regarding currency is issuance and regulation of the currency. Okay. Next question. The development banks provide funds for dash for economic growth of the country. The development bank provide funds for dash for economic growth of the country. Good, Achal. Good, Harsh. Good, Khushi. Very good, Tanmay. Infrastructural facilities. Very good. Very good, all of you. Okay. My next question. Okay. Regional rural banks have been set up in dash areas of different states of the country. Regional rural banks. Mehak, your answer is wrong, beta. Regional areas, no, Khushi. Rural areas. Rural areas. Okay? Rural areas. Okay. Who will tell me the 8 important types of bank audit reports? 8 important types of bank audit report. Eight important types of bank audit report. Good, Achal. You have managed to answer 4 very correctly. Mehak, what are you trying to say? I'm unable to answer. It is not income regulation, it is income recognition. IRAC norms. Income recognition, asset classification and provisioning. Yes. Very good, Achal. Very good. Very good. And the last one you all have forgotten, like I forgot to teach you. Adverse credit deposit ratio. Very good. Adverse credit deposit ratio in rural areas. Very good. Mehak, you are trying to say something. Ma'am, in chat we put answers of report. Yes, yes, Mehak, obviously, yes. Okay. Very good. Very good. Okay. What are the matters that are discussed among the audit engagement team? What are the matters to be considered by audit engagement team, or what is discussed by audit engagement team in the discussion? What are the matters discussed by the audit engagement team? Okay. Okay. There are 6 matters. You can say 5 because I have taught you 5. I have taught you 2 in 1. Okay. All right. See, errors, future or past, method of fraud by bank personnel, audit responses to engagement risk, pervasive risk and specific risk. Very good. Professional skepticisms and need to be alert. Very good. Very good, all of you. Very good, Isha. Very good. Very good. Okay. Who will tell me who appoints the auditor of a nationalized bank? Who appoints auditor of a nationalized bank? Nationalized bank. Wrong, Golti Anil. Nationalized bank. Bank concerned acting through board of directors. No, Khushi, you're wrong. Bank through its board of directors is the right answer. Yes, you got confused here. Bank through its board of directors. Okay, next. Auditor of banking companies appointed by dash. Auditor of banking companies appointed by dash. Tanmay, you have to write the complete answer. Mehak, incomplete answer. Achal, incomplete answer. Good, Tanmay. Good, Gayatri. Good, Daksh. Okay, Achal. Yes. Yes. Annual general meeting of shareholders with approval of RBI also. Yes. See, you might get this in a form of MCQ. One option saying auditor of a banking company appointed by number A, bank through its board of director. Option number B, RBI. Option number C, annual shareholders in the annual general meeting. Option number D, shareholders in annual general meeting along with the prior approval of RBI. So what will be the answer? Option D. Yes. Annual general meeting of shareholders along with approval of RBI. Prior approval. Yes. Okay. Now, who appoints the auditor of regional rural bank? Who appoints the auditor of regional rural bank? Yes, Mehak. Now you are giving a complete good answer. Who appoints the auditor of regional rural bank? Harsh, your answer is incorrect. Very good, Daksh. Very good, Tanmay. Nisha, your answer is wrong, beta. Yes. Very good, Mehak. It is not approval. Who has written this? Okay, correct. Correct, Khushi. Correct, Gayatri. Correct, Achal. Correct, Mehak. All of you have answered correctly. The bank with the approval of central government. Okay, very good. Very good. Who fixed the remuneration of auditor in case of a nationalized bank? Who fixed remuneration of auditor in case of a nationalized bank? Wrong. Golti Anil, your answer is wrong. Good, Isha. Good, Achal. Correct, Tanmay. Correct, Daksh. Harsh, correct. Gayatri, incomplete. Khushi, correct. Khushi Goyal, correct. Khushi Gupta, also correct. Correct. It is Reserve Bank of India in consultation with central government, not approval. Okay, consultation. Very good. Yes, Mehak, correct. Correct. Very good. Okay. Who does the auditor report to in case of an audit of nationalized bank? To whom does the auditor report to in case of audit of a nationalized bank? Very good. Central government. Very good. Okay, who will tell me the 4 points that the auditor reports in his report to the central government? The 4 points. We did 4 points. Let me see who remember. I'm giving you 2 minutes time. You can write your answer. It's lengthy, I know. Daksh, do not write answer like this. See, you have to, this is why I asked this question specifically. Because the way you answer is in the exam, like Khushi has written, whether report is true and fair, if not, ask for explanation and see if it is satisfied or not. You will not write the answer like this. Okay? Daksh is written, whether he is satisfied by the explanation for financial statement. Wrong. You have to write whether in his opinion. This is why I was repeating again and again. When I repeat a statement again and again, please be smart to understand that you are expected to write the answer in the same language. Are you understanding? See, if you write whether he is satisfied by the explanation for financial statement, the English is wrong, the statement itself is wrong. So you have to write. See, I'm repeating again. Stop writing, all of you. Stop writing in the chat box. I request you all to stop writing in the chat box. Listen to me. Number one, whether in his opinion, the financial statement present a true and fair view of affairs of the bank. And in case he has called for any explanation or information, whether he is satisfied with the information and explanation so obtained. Is it now clear? This is how you have to write. Point number two, whether or not the transaction of the bank which has come to his notice have been made within the powers of the bank. Are you understanding? Point number three, whether or not returns received from the office or the branches has been found adequate for the purpose of audit or not. And point number four, any other matter which he considers should be brought to the notice of central government. You have to remember them as it is. Are you understanding, dear students? Okay. Now let me see who writes the answer and give it to me in the chat box. Now let me see who writes the answer and give it to me in the chat box. Let us see. Waiting for your reply? Yes, take your time. Write slowly, but be correct in writing. Okay? We are in no hurry. We can sit. No issues. Our intention of taking up the class is not to just finish, is to understand the way of writing, the way of expressing, along with the content and concepts, if any. So, you have to practice writing. There is no alternative to it. You have to practice writing answers. See, it happens that you know the answer, but in the exam, what to write, you don't know. How to start, you don't know. How to finish, you don't know. Which he considers should be noticed to central government. No, Isha. Any other matter which he considers should be brought to the notice of central government. You are saying notice to central government. Please do not write wrong English. Your one grammatical error changes the meaning of the statement. Okay? Very good, Archal. Point number one, very well explained by Archal. Of the bank and information demanded is received. Harsh, not write that language. Also, okay? Information demanded. No. He has called for information and explanation. Okay? Not demanded. You are an auditor, not a king. Okay, Daksh, better. Okay, Daksh, correct. Second point is correct. Whether or not returns received from the office or branch have been found adequate for the purpose of audit. Okay. Or you can simply write returns received from the offices and branches found adequate for the purpose of audit. Okay. Returns received from the offices and branches of the bank found adequate for the purpose of audit. Okay. Good, Daksh. Very good. Last is a very simple point. Very good, Achal. Very good. Very good, Daksh. Okay, Harsh. Any other matter which he considers, which he thinks should be brought to the notice of central government. Okay. Let me see to Gayatri's answer. Very good. Very good, Gayatri. Very well written. Goldie, if you will write answer like this, you will not get marks. Whether the auditor is in a right track of giving true and fair view. What is this? Whether the bank is running within its power as per the Banking Regulation Act. Whether the bank returns from the branch office received a fine and parallel with the head office. No, Anil Golti, you will lose marks. No, Golti, Anil. Whether any information to be passed to central. No. Golti, Anil, you have to practice writing answers. You will not get marks for these kind of answers. Yes. See, when you write your answer, yes, you have to improve. Okay. All right. So, did you all gain little confidence in writing the answer? How to write the answer? What language to use? Did you all understand whatever was taught today? Okay. All right. So, all of you have understood whatever concepts or whatever topic was taken up today? Okay. It is not ICAI material answers. It is few answers. You have to take those terminologies. You have to use those key terms. If because why I'm asking you, because what we find as teachers, that you all correct English. Like, for example, a small statement that any other matter which comes to his knowledge or he considers to be important to be got notice of the employment. Whatever matter is right track or not, what is this? So most of you lose marks because you don't use correct English. And this is not the age where we as teacher can teach you English. Okay, we can teach you audit. But if you ask us to teach English, obviously, if you don't understand some meaning of a word, we can tell you, we can make that term simple for you to understand. But at this level, if you think of improving your English to write answers, you don't have that much time. So it is better that you understand what is written, and if you understand, it will be easy for you to learn. Am I making myself clear to you all? Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? Just because you all use wrong grammar, we ask you to stick to those terms. Okay? All right. So, can we call off for the day? Can we call off for the day? Can we say a good night or bid goodbye? Okay. Thank you all for being good students. And okay, I request you all to please revise whatever has been done till date. Next class, we will come up with a second set of report, means format of report, second set of the chapter. Okay, all right. So till then, good night. Take care, all of you. God bless you all. Technical team, we are signing off. Thank you so much, technical team. Good night. Take care.